Guys, receding, but I've been growing my hair back. I'm amazed, can't believe it. My hair was falling out. The amount of hair dye I have abused on my head, and also the amount of testosterone that has gone through my body the past couple of years has been high. So I don't expect not to lose some hair. But with some products and some tablets and some rituals, it's growing back. Can't believe it. I'll have to share a video with you guys on what I've done because it legit works. My hair's grown back ridiculous amounts. Anyway, went back to the UK for 2 days. Quite a long trip for such a short period of time, but it was good. Went to a wedding, saw the team, went on a night out, had some fun, had some food. And for me, I'll take those opportunities, even if it is a full day of flying. It doesn't matter because the experiences matter the most to me. And being connected, like how many times do you actually get to see your full family together? Like for me, it was either a wedding, a christening, someone's big birthday, which would really not happen, and then a funeral. Those are the times where, for example, I would see all my family together, cousins, aunties, etc., all together as one. Whether it's the same for you, I don't know, but that's how close we were. And even though it's miles away and it's stressful, like, come on, how many times are you gonna see your family together, all together again like that? Not many. And it's just having that mindset and making the effort, because those are the things that we're gonna remember at the end of the day. Went back, had some fun, got ill as shit, feel like crap. I don't know what I've caught, but geez, that weather was absolutely atrocious in the UK. I've gone soft, man. I have gone completely soft. This Bali weather is a joke compared to the UK. But anyway, the story is chasing girls. When I was out on the night out, I was just reflecting because I was having a few drinks and the bar was packed full of people. It was a bit of a sausage fest, to be honest. Just full of guys just getting absolutely levered, definitely coked out of their eyeballs. And it just remembered of old times, growing up as a teenager, a young adult, going out partying. There was many occasions where I had a great time, but there was also many where I didn't. And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just numbing myself. I'm distracting myself. I think men distract themselves with alcohol, women, porn, and the list goes on. But for me, I had to try and conquer some of the distractions along the way. And I don't want to ramble on with this video for too long, but let's talk about females, because like now I'm with a gorgeous girl. I put up a story the other day of just me and her, and it got like 40,000 views on my story. And with the amount of followers I've got, 125,000, that's a lot of people. People like to see couples together, people who are healthy, fit. It's like people's dream. And a few years ago, I wouldn't be able to achieve that goal of who I've got today because I didn't build myself up, my character, the way I approach things, the success, who I was, my personality, my habits, the drink, the drugs, the alcohol, the partying, and the negative vices, the way I looked, being in shape, being physically fit, being athletic, is not going to achieve that goal or dream person who you want to be with. It was just never going to happen. I had to reinvent myself, and I've continued to reinvent myself all the time. But when I was going out, I would look around. I'm just thinking, okay, you could hook up with someone for a one night, which would happen. This is the culture in the UK, and that's the kind of cycle you're in. You wake up in the morning, and yeah, you might have had some fun, but it's not really filling up anything, is it? It's not fulfilling you. It's just meaningless. I think guys get caught up on this because they think it's cool to sleep around with loads of girls and they just end up having a shitload of diseases. So you've got to pull away from that and have a bird's eye view of what's going on in society, not get dragged in and pulled in, because all the guys will be like, oh, how many girls have you slept with? You know, banging this weekend, oh man, what are you doing? You've not shagged in X amount of months. So for me, I was stuck in that cycle. I was just like everyone else, but I didn't like myself. I would sleep with someone and then the next day I would get someone else around and I would sleep with them, and then they'd end up finding out that I was slept with someone else. They always find out in the end. And that's why now I look back at what I did. I'm not proud, but that was me. That's why I'm different now, because I try and develop and change and be better. But that energy, it's not good energy. It's not good vibes. Like, don't get me wrong, I've partied in Ibiza, I've done some wild shit. And like, I'm on here now just saying how, yeah, have some fun, but you know if you're making the right decision or not at the end of the day. You know, getting the dream girl, achieving that goal is gonna come at a price. It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be difficult. You have to build yourself up, build that character. So removing yourself from the society's norms and the pressures of having to sleep around with all these girls, remove that and start working on you. Build your confidence up through the hard work, the discipline, the consistency, build the body, build the mindset, build the business, build the life, build the career. And then from there, you'll be able to achieve that dream girl. Otherwise, right now, it's just, you're just wishing. You're not taking action. You're not implementing an actual strategy to do that. So when I was out, I'm looking around at all these guys, and I'm just like, come on. Too many people are out of shape. You can just tell the way they carry themselves. It's just a false facade. They're just numbing themselves. Yeah, I could be judging here, but I was one of those guys back then. And I wish I started early. I wish I pulled back earlier and was disciplined and said, no, you know what? That ain't cool. Let's build myself up, build the career, build the body, build the mindset, and then the females will gravitate towards me. And since that, and since I started to build myself up, it's not been hard to attract a female. It's not. I get attention wherever I go. But that wasn't once a time. It wasn't. And we transformed thousands of men. And some of the guys who have been in the worst shape have transformed, and now they're walking into a bar, a restaurant, they're at the gym, and they're getting noticed. The whiplash effect. You walk in and people are turning heads. It happens. But it's not gonna happen if you just keep doing the same shit. You have to pull back and stop distracting yourself from it. It's not cool. It's not. It's especially not cool if you keep doing it repeatedly. You're one of those guys on all these dating apps and you're just scrolling through all day. I used to see so many of my friends just on dating apps when I was just grinding, hustling, and building the business. And they were just scrolling, oh, I'm meeting her this week, I'm meeting her next week. I'm just like, it got boring. It's boring. And I'm coming from a place of, I've experienced it. I've lived in Ibiza. I've gone to the craziest fucking parties. I've seen some shit, and I've been involved with that type of stuff as well, which we won't go into. But if you're watching this video now and this is resonating with you, I want you to block out all the shit that's going on, all of the guys who are trying to influence you, say, come on, bro, you should be out there shagging. I didn't shag for 9 months, a 9-month stretch. I didn't sleep with a girl for. Everything I do it because it's gonna grow me. I've got this built into my subconscious so deep that everything I do in my life is evolved around growth. It is. Yes, I'll take some steps back, that happens, but it's built in me and ingrained in me so bad. Whatever I'm doing, whatever it is, I have to see some forward momentum, some movement, some growth, because if you want to feel good, you have to experience the growth continuously to feel fulfilled in any way, shape or form. So that's fulfillment. And I just wish someone back then would tell me this now, because there's guys who are still doing the same shit over and over again. And guess what? They're broke, they've got no money. They'll go out in the designer clothes, they'll go out in all the best gear, but they can't back it up. They're on social media, they're in Dubai, but they can only just get to Dubai, and they're like taking pictures behind a fucking Lambo. And it's a false world, a false reality on Instagram. They might be able to get away with it at the start. They'll go on a date with a hot girl because on socials, on the dating apps, what you can see is a completely different representation of what's actually going on in their life. They'll go on a date, they'll hook up with the chick, they might end up getting somewhere with them, but then when they find out that you're a broke-ass little bitch, and you are a loser deep down, what's gonna happen then? And this is all the time with guys, in clubs, in bars, renting cars. Pull away from that shit. I just used to do the opposite to what everyone else would do. I'll tell you a story right now. I drove around in a shit car back in the UK for 2 years when I could afford a very nice car. Yeah, I was doing very well at the time. I drove around in a shit car because I wanted to overcome that fucking fear of pulling up in a car when people know who you are, your friends, family, people on social media, and they look at you and they go, you judge. They think, why is he driving around in that shit car? And they think he's not successful. They just think because of the car you've got, you're not successful. And I had friends growing up who had the nicest cars, okay? And I'd rock up in a Fiat Punto. And I remember one day I rocked up at the parking lot and there was the fucking supercars there and my exhaust fell off. My exhaust fell off the fucking car when I was driving off. And I just thought to myself, wow, if you can overcome those types of insecurities of having to fit in, having to follow the status quo, you have risen. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. The confidence comes from within. So it was something I did. I pulled back, I drove around in a shit car because I needed to overcome that fear and that feeling of being insecure, being judged, and me looking back and getting out of the car and just having my head held high and not giving a fuck, because behind the scenes, I'm fucking grinding. I'm building. Yeah? Guys, have a fantastic day. Lots of love.